Well, thank you, Senator. Chairman Wicker, Ranking Member Reed, members of this committee. My name is Dan Kane, and I am honored and humbled to sit before you today as the President's nominee to be the 22nd Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I'd like to start by thanking the President and the Secretary for their trust and confidence in me, and if confirmed, allowing me to again serve our great nation. I'd also like to thank General C.Q. Brown and his wife Shireen and their family for their more than 40 years of selfless service to our nation. I'd like to thank the team that helped prepare me for this hearing today. And finally, I'd like to thank my family and friends who have given me so much. It is my family who has made my service possible, always at their own expense. They have given more than I have, and there are not words to express my thanks to each of them, especially my family in our nation's Midwest. I sit here before you, the proud son of an Air Force fighter pilot who flew F-4 Phantoms in Vietnam. My mom was a pediatric critical care nurse who worked nights so she could be home when my sister and I got up in the morning and when we got home in the afternoon. I learned about service from my parents and the other members of my family who served not because it was easy, but because it was the right thing to do. In our family, we serve. When asked, we always say yes. Senators, I acknowledge that I'm an unconventional nominee. These are unconventional times. It is 9:48 p.m. in Beijing, 6:48 p.m. in Tehran, 4:48 p.m. in Moscow, and 10:48 p.m. in Pyongyang. As we sit here now, our nation faces an unprecedented rising global risk. Our adversaries are advancing, global nuclear threats are on the rise, and deterrence is paramount. Our national defense requires urgent action and reform across the board. We must go faster. We must move with a sense of urgency. We can never forget that our number one job is to create peace through overwhelming strength, and if need be, fight and win our nation's wars. I realize for many Americans I'm an unknown leader, and it is with a heart full of gratitude that I've been given a truly unique set of experiences that I believe have prepared me to be the 22nd chairman. For the past 34 years, I've served in the active Title 10 force, in the Title 32 National Guard force, in the Title 50 force at the CIA. I've served in the interagency at the White House, and I've deployed in combat as a fighter pilot, a special operations officer, and a CIA officer. And I've been an entrepreneur and investor in the business sector while a citizen soldier in the National Guard. As a general officer, I've had the privilege of serving 3 presidents from both political parties, and most recently was the Associate Director for Military Affairs at the CIA, a job where I was charged to provide military advice to the Director of the CIA and globally integrate DoD and CIA activities across the world. Along the way, I've proudly served alongside some of America's most incredible warriors and civilian teammates and their families, and I've witnessed them do awe-inspiring things in the service of our nation, and to a person, they've poured more into me than I could ever have poured into them, especially our non-commissioned officer corps. And sadly, I've been there with them as they made the ultimate sacrifice on the fields of battle, and been with their families as we told them of their loved ones' service and sacrifice. I think of our fallen every single day. These experiences help me to better understand how our nation considers and uses military force to achieve our national security objectives, and they directly inform my views of the importance of carefully considering the use of that force and the risks associated with it beforehand, and always asking the important question, and then what, before we do. And if the decision is made to use military force, crushing our enemies and winning. I've also had the privilege of serving alongside incredible business leaders, starting and scaling companies as an entrepreneur, and along the way I learned what a different kind of grit looks like. Our American entrepreneurial spirit is a force multiplier, and my time as an entrepreneur has made me a better general officer and leader. And if confirmed, I'll bring more of that spirit into the Joint Force. Senators, I'm here today to earn your trust and the trust of the American people. If confirmed, I'll continue to work as I have for my entire 34 years in uniform, always focused on the mission and our incredible people. If confirmed, I'll continue the traditions and standards of my oath of office and my commission as a nonpartisan leader who will always strive to do the right thing. Chairman Wicker, Ranking Member Reed, and members of the committee, thank you for your time and your consideration. As we gather here today, let us never forget our deployed forces and their families, and may we always remember our fallen and their families, especially those 3 that Senator Reed mentioned and our 1 missing. I look forward to your questions.